Do you have writer's block? Are you looking for some inspiration for your next hit song? Are you looking to improve your songwriting skills? You answered yes to any of those questions. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you 5 tips for writing hooks. Hey guys, Aaron Geezy here, bringing you the Geeztown perspective. And today I'm going to give you 5 tips on writing hooks. And before I get started, a couple things I want to cover. Number 1, what is a hook? Alright, a hook is something memorable in a song that gets you interested, that makes you like the song. I guess that's pretty much what it is, just something memorable. It could be an instrumental hook, it could be a vocal hook, it could be a lyrical hook, it could be a rhythmic hook. It's just something that's memorable that catches your attention. And then, if you think of the song, you're probably thinking of, the most memorable part, which is going to be the hook. And specifically, I'm going to be giving tips on writing vocal hooks, because I think once you have a good understanding of that, then writing any other kind of hook is pretty easy. But also, guys, if you have any other tips for writing hooks or any other ideas that you think of, be sure and leave a comment. I would appreciate to hear what you guys think if I've left anything out, and I'm sure anyone else watching the video would appreciate that as well. Also, if there's something I say you want me to clarify, explain a little better, or it didn't make sense, let me know about that too. I'm learning, getting better at making these videos as I go here. So anyway, I'm just going to get right into it. Tip number 1, pay attention to the rhythm of the melody. All right. Pick out a song that you like, one of your favorite songs, could be a song on the radio, whatever it is, and pay attention to the rhythm of the vocal melody. Because that's like when you're writing, here's what happens. When you write lyrics, you write kind of the way that you think, the way that we speak, and that doesn't always, work out so well when you're trying to make a song. You want it to have a catchy rhythm, and those syllables of just the way that you would say it don't necessarily fit what you're trying to do with the rhythm. So a lot of times, once you're aware of that, you start paying attention to it. What can help is write the rhythm first. A lot of people say they need to write the melody first and then the lyrics, and it comes out a lot better that way. And really what they mean is they need that rhythm first, because if you try to take the lyrics that have a rhythm of just the way that you speak and put it into a song, it's not going to be as interesting as if you just get a rhythm that you by itself, that, okay, this is a great rhythm, this works, it's catchy, gets people's attention, and then, making your melody on top of that, making your words fit that rhythm. Give that a shot. I think that's a good way to do it. And the other thing about rhythm is, guys, it is really important in songs to get people's attention right away. That's probably the most catchy thing about any hook, is going to be the rhythm. Pay attention to people that aren't musicians when they sing a song. All right, their pitch, who knows? They're basically going to be speaking it most of the time, but their rhythm will be right on. All right, rhythm is the thing that stays with people, that catches people's attention, that makes it memorable. So tip number 1, pay attention to the rhythm. All right, tip number 2, pay attention to the structure of the melody and the rhythm along with that melody. Just like we have song structure, you got a verse, chorus, maybe a pre-chorus, you got an intro, you got a bridge, you got all these different, sections, and you have this structure of the song, right? Well, melodies have a structure too. It could start out, just pay attention to this, be aware of this when you're listening to music, and you'll notice, maybe the vocal melody will start out it'll be 2 notes, in the first bar. Then the next bar, maybe it'll be 3 notes. Then the bar after that, maybe it'll be something a little more complex. Then it'll come back to, just 2 notes or something. Another example is call and response. People say that music is like having a conversation. You have one kind of, rhythm and melody that does something, and then the other thing seems to answer it or respond to it in a way, call and response. But I would just classify all of that under, the structure of the melody. It's just something to be aware of. Pay attention to it in songs that you're listening to that you like. And, once you're aware of that and you realize that's something that you need to pay attention to, you can incorporate that into your own songs. All right. So tip number 3, I'm going to say tension and release. All right. And here's what I mean by that is, okay, you have certain notes. I guess I don't want to dive too deep into music theory here, but whatever the key of the song is, hitting that, if it's in the key of C, a C is going to be your release note. All right. And then there are certain notes that sound like they're going to be, that there's more tension, like they're leading to something. Like if it doesn't go to a note after that, it's going to sound unresolved. All right. That's your tension. And if you have a song that doesn't have any tension and release, it's just going to be boring. All right. You need to have kind of some push and pull, and you can do that in rhythm as well. Like, when the rhythm is going along, there are certain places where it sounds like there should be a beat. And if you don't have that beat there, it kind of creates tension, or, they're just, be aware of that, pay attention to that, and play around with that, because creating tension and release in your melodies is going to make them a whole lot more interesting. So there's that. Tip number 4, build the song. All right. So, you don't want to give away your most intense, dramatic moment in the very beginning of the song, because then you have nowhere to go. You want people to listen to the song and be engaged and stay into it and keep into it throughout the whole song. You don't want them to hear the most tense thing and then it's just boring after that, right? I mean, just like a novel or a movie or anything, you've got, kind of a beginning, and you've got a climax at some point, and then it kind of, you got an ending, right? And so verses, typically you want to keep things kind of even keel, not so intense. Maybe a pre-chorus, you can kind of build things up, build a little bit of tension, and then release it on the chorus. The chorus is the payoff. And then usually the bridge will be really that's your place to be really dramatic, really intense. But yeah, think about that when you're coming up with your hooks. And because, you can still have a catchy hook in the beginning of a song, but just not have it be so dramatic sounding, I guess, if that makes sense. So build your songs. And tip number 5 is, I guess this is something, if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time writing a melody that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, check your chord progressions. Because a lot of times what happens is you have a chord progression that's really boring, that's not going anywhere, and it's almost impossible to write a great melody on top of a boring chord progression. And some couple ways to remedy that: change the chord progression. One thing that I'll do sometimes is find a song that you like, that you're like, this is great, there's some really great melodies here, and just take the chord progression. Just figure out, whatever instrument, piano, guitar that you have, whatever you have available to you, figure out where those root chords are of the song. And once you have that chord progression, play around with it a little bit. Maybe change one of the chords, maybe try a different rhythm, make it your own a little bit, and then try writing some melodies on top of that. Because there are certain chord progressions and certain rhythms that are just a whole lot easier to write great hooks on top of than others. And so try that. And sometimes, if you have a song where you have a chord progression that's just kind of not really going too many places, and you need a great melody there, sometimes in some situations, what I've done is, write the melody over a different part of the song, still in the same key and everything, and then take that melody and move it over to where, you're struggling to write something. And sometimes that works. Not always, not every case, but sometimes that's a solution. So anyway, there you go. 5 tips on writing hooks. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Be sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And other than that, I will see you later. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeztown Perspective. If you did, make sure you give this video a like. I'll be making more videos like this for you guys in the coming days and weeks, so make sure you subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any. Also, check out some of my music. If you sign up for my email list at geeztown.com, I will send you 2 free songs. If you prefer to pay, you can also find my music on iTunes, Spotify, and other digital music online retailers. Until next time, see you later.